All right, welcome to the Circle of Grace One's second Tuesday of the month, free enrichment training class. I always do these at least for free, no charge. People can sign up through emails. My emails are iam.circleofgrace1@gmail.com. They're actually free on the second Tuesday evening of each month. And also at the same time, they are recorded live on my private Zoom account that I have set up here. And the most important thing is they may last anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours. So people need to know that people are running a little late this evening. One of my uh, regular students is a teacher herself, not in the metaphysical and spiritual field, but she's a teacher of engineering and a teacher of math. So she might be running a little late here. We get people from all over the USA that join in each month. We have people from the East Coast in New York, New York State, upstate New York, New York City, the state of New Jersey, in Middlesex and Essex County. We also get people from Long Island, New York, Nassau County, Suffolk County, and the city area of Queens and Brooklyn, also into Manhattan and the Bronx. At any point, any of those people might be joining on. If people come on to that link with me, they are able to join in Eastern Standard Time at 7 p.m. If you're in Central, it's 6 p.m. If you're in Mountain Time, like I am, from Denver all the way through Albuquerque, it is for you 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And if you're on the West Coast, kicking off in Arizona, going all the way across, then right out there to California, then for you, it would be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So usually I pick a topic. I might generalize it sometimes, and of course, I always record it. And one of the things that I do when I record it, I then distribute the video to people who have joined in. Now, many of these students not only take my free enrichment training course, but they also are signed in to a paid 13-week online course. Many of them have taken The Key to Life is Numerology in 2022. Many people have taken the Selenite course that happened right after that. Other people have taken Decree and It Shall Be, which was first a 8-week course, then a 6-week course, and people take that already since 2022. People have taken that last year as well as this year. I have sometimes people taking private classes as well. And if you take a private class once a month, it's $88. That may add up after a while if you're doing it twice a month. So I'm teaching everything that I know that I've worked with for over 54 years, right about now. I would say 53, which involves meditation, numerology, dream analysis, out of body experiences, certain techniques on how to use that. I've talked about chakras. I've talked about crystals. My main crystal that I talk about is selenite, and that's also very helpful for people to have this opportunity. And so what I will do a little later on is will record parts of this that I'll put up on my TikTok account. Again, this is a free enrichment training course, and tonight's topic is how to ride the waves of increasing opportunity. How to ride the waves of increasing opportunity. And this is essential. Now, we may think, it's just a lightweight topic, but right now, people are striving to get in line so they can get what they want. Let me say that again. People are striving to get in line to get what they want. And it's essential to many of us to strive, to allow ourselves an opportunity. Now, what are some of the things? There are actually 8 steps. 8 steps of achievement to get this to this point, or you can think of it as 6. The first one is to make up your mind. Like the late Reverend Ike said, he used to say, first you must decide. Your decision now is important. So you got to sit down and kind of figure out which direction you're striving to go into. We all need finances, but what else do we need? We need good character. We need a good name, a good reputation, right? We need consistency. We need to be able to become more disciplined. We have to learn how to relax that internal mind chatter that goes on all the time. So there are a lot of things that are happening with us, and we have to basically learn how to step into that world in our mind to ride those waves, riding the waves, meaning the frequencies of increasing opportunity. We are in the age of Aquarius right now, according to many astrologers. It began this January of this year on the late Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, which was Monday, January the 15th, 2024. When we're in the age of Aquarius, it's about new starts, it's about new friendships, new associations. Sometimes a new business contact will come in. There's new ways in which to achieve success. Many people I find a lot of younger people. I'm an old dinosaur in my 70s. A lot of the younger people, they're knocking it out the park, right? They are creative digital podcasters. They've got their YouTube channels set up. They're working the Bitcoin industry, those that are good with that. Others are into trading that are good with that. Many people are doing things that a lot of us oldsters wouldn't have dreamed of doing because we're too focused on getting a job. That was the philosophy of the time of our parents back in the 40s and the 50s. Stay busy, get a good job, go to school, get an education, get your degrees. Now people are doing these things without degrees, but the degrees of success is educating them on how to better do something. And so these are the many things. I've written books. I had no idea that I would be an author. It just started happening for me. I wrote my first book called Dancing in the Light of Divine Grace. And it was about many of the life's experiences and things my late mother, who was a metaphysician and spiritualist, taught me. She was a member of a star organization back in her days. She was a member of the Rosicrucians. And I'm not talking about what people talk about the negative. I'm talking about the positive side, making yourself better, changing your outlook about life and yourself. So here's the first step: make up your mind. This is important. And we're constantly going through something all the time. We're striving to do something all the time. And we may not know exactly what that thing is, right? Because we're looking to accomplish goals. Let me take these glasses off. I'm getting too much reflections back into my eyes here. So one of the things that are happening is we're seeking to achieve some level of success either every day, every week, every month, moment to moment. And this is important for us. If we're not seeking something to happen and not doing anything about it, we won't see any what progress. Many of you have probably worked in network marketing. I did it back in my 30s and my 40s. And man, I used to get excited and then have big letdowns because people were pushing and pushing and pushing. And I realized, why am I pushing to make a product that is already successful in numerous areas for the people that created it or the people that created those systems. And so many times people were doing a lot of network marketing, as they call it. That's the actual true name, but it was called in the beginning MLM, multi-level marketing. And some people figured out the mathematical box, and what they did was they got as many distributors underneath them that they could, mainly across the board, got them up to a certain level, and then went 6 levels deep. The box was only supposed to have been 6 by 6 or 5 by 5, but people were doing it like get 6 rows out and then go 7, 8, 9, 10 deep. And all those people came underneath. Some people really learned how to do it well. Some of the phrasing that they would use, you got to use massive action. Those words are designed to emotionally kick you into gear. But what if you don't have high emotions like that? What do you do about it if you don't? You can develop it, but the most important thing, I remember when I was doing a lot of telemarketing in New York City back in my late 20s and early 30s, um, you had to learn how to take a no. You might be selling a product or doing not only selling a product, but also doing surveys. But what I found out back in the day, I was better at doing surveys than I was selling a product. And I remember one night I had one of the lowest uh, sales records. I was like one. And they pulled me into the office and they introduced me to the persons who made that product. And they said, how come everybody else is doing it and you're not doing it, Francis? And I said, well, I don't believe in it. And that kind of knocked them off their chairs. But I realized it made sense. If there's something that you don't believe in, you're not going to sell it. If it's a product that you feel that's detrimental to you or other people, you're not going to put your energy on it and sell it. In fact, your energy will block it from getting out there. So I had to learn certain things, and many of you out here already know, from TikTok to Facebook to LinkedIn to before Facebook, there was MySpace, Instagram. You know these things, YouTube. You know how to do something, what to do, and how to go about doing it. You've learned by trial and error. But what you first did was make up your mind. That was the first step. The second step is change the way you think. That's most important right after that first step. Once you make up your mind, decide what it is that you want to do, then you have to change the way you think. This means to change your attitude about life. Many people have gone through many states of depression and melancholy and sadness. Illnesses kicked in. Um, some people expected too much and didn't get anything. So now they went riding down the path of sadness. They felt bad about themselves. They didn't think they could do anything, couldn't think they could achieve. They seemed to be attracting like minds or people who took more advantage of them rather than help them become a success in their chosen field. Well, not only does this mean to change your attitude about life, but you also have to start to look at the role that you're going to play in yours. Are you going to be the leader in your life? Are you going to be the backseat driver in your life and get somebody out there to do it for you? Are you going to be the passenger in the front seat and someone else, you're giving them the reins to drive you where you got to go? There's different ways in which you can attain your goals. And this is all about riding the waves of increasing opportunity. So you want to look at how many kinds of people do you have around you? Do you have a very supportive team around you, be it a family member, a life partner, sibling, business associate? What do you have? Who do you have behind you that helps you achieve, helps you take advantage of riding those waves, positive high energy waves to receive an increasing opportunity in your own life. Now, step number 3, you have to acknowledge that you can do it, not just being capable, but that you can actually make the step to achieve the goal. Now, we already know that you had to do what? You had to first decide on what it is that you're striving for, what it is that you're seeking to achieve into your life. And sometimes when we're looking at achievements, we have to set a high standard for ourselves, not a low standard. If you set a standard too low, then it becomes too easy and then you may not follow through. But if you make it where it's something you have to push through, you have to work at a lot, you have to develop some other skills, then you are giving yourself the opportunity to step into the wave. It's like if you could swim a little bit, you would get in a swimming pool. If you gain confidence in a swimming pool, you would then go to an outdoor pool, and then you'd go to a beach. Now, a beach is a little different because you're dealing with high tides and low tides that can come in at any moment. So you're striving to be in a safe environment. It's the same if you're doing business with other people, doing business for yourself. You got to make these things safe for you. Now, some people say, well, don't make it too safe because then it's not a challenge. Well, you don't want it all over the place either. You want to make sure that what you've made a decision about, what you've decided to go after, how you have decided to change your attitude, which change your outlook. Uh, what's his name? Dr. Michael Beckwith says it this way: if you change your attitude, you change your altitude. It means you're able to go higher if you can change your attitude about things. You can't keep thinking that something is negative all the time. You have to put a positive spin. I'll give you a perfect example. One of my longtime clients, who's also a spiritual daughter of mine, she had been playing one of those important scratch-off cards called Win for Life. You get $1,000 a month, a year, what is it, $1,000 a week? And she had been playing this card, I think, 4 or 5 years. Well, I think it was just last week she struck pay dirt. On the card, she had 4 of the white balls, 4 or 5 of them. I think it was 5. And at having 5 white balls on the scratch off card, she wound up winning $2,500. That's amazing. She won 2,500. If she had gotten that green ball at the same time, she would have gotten $1,000 a week for life. Just money coming into her. But she did a good thing. She won 2,500. That piqued her interest. That boosted her emotional level, the feeling she had, the attitude about everything. Now she's going after things from a better, higher perspective. Well, the third step is acknowledge that you can do it. And the way that you can acknowledge that you could ride the waves of increasing opportunity is to give yourself credit. Now, what do I mean by that? Look at the things that you've done in the past, many things. You helped other people achieve their goals, whether it was in business or family settings, marriage, learning how to be a better mate. Maybe you have a sibling, you help that sibling get better. Maybe you have some close friends, you help them pick themselves up out of the mood box, out of the box of melancholy, out of the box of just not feeling good about themselves. You help somebody change their life. So give yourself credit for doing that, because in helping someone else feel better, get better, the universe repaid it, came back and did the same for you through other individuals. Now, giving yourself credit does what? You put value on your own life. That's what you do. Giving yourself credit places value on your own life, and you learn to respect your value. In other words, to give yourself value is like self-love, loving yourself. When you start loving yourself, you're giving yourself an opportunity to achieve success, right? You're giving yourself an opportunity to come forward and do even better. Because why? You're now loving what you do, and you love to see yourself succeed, and you love to see yourself succeed by helping other people. You're helping them love themselves as well. Now, once you're able to do that, you're able to slide into the fourth step. And the fourth step is acknowledging that all things are possible. There was a scripture, I don't know if I can quote it correctly, but it says, as a man thinketh, so is he. Somebody wrote a book about it. I think the author was Charles Allen, and he wrote the book, As a Man Thinketh, So Is He. And then years later, he wrote, As a Woman Thinketh, So Does She. It was good to do that. Why? Because it's not just guys out there achieving. There are plenty of women who are out there achieving and making things happen for themselves as individuals, for their families. Many are single parents, and they're doing quite well. You know, some of the single parents are out there who are major success stories and have been out there a long time. Lisa Nichols. And many of you look up Lisa Nichols. She was the only uh, parent, single parent. I think the other one is Ayanla Van Zant. She's another one. She had to like pick herself up and make it happen. So many of these people have been out there a long time now, and they've done all the things they've needed to do. They've been in those success stories. They've been on TV shows like Oprah, Montel Williams, Good Morning America, news channels. You've heard them. They've done it, and they've been able to get there. Who's another person that turned his life around? The big tall guy, Tony Robbins. He tells you how bad his life was as a child and as a, younger adult. But then he started to turn things around, written prolific books, and put himself out there. Now he's this multi-millionaire success guy, and he teaches other people how to get real with themselves. And he's a powerhouse. Here's another thing. Not only are you willing to recognize that all things are possible, but here's number 5. Many of you out here are into spirit guide energy, right? And may know who your spirit guides are. Invite them to assist you. Many of you have a good connection with your ancestors, those who have passed on in this lifetime, as well as, great parents, great grandparents, and so on and so forth. You might have some cousin back there who helped you. You might have a neighbor from long ago who helped you. If you have that consistent connection with them spiritually, metaphysically speaking, ask them through your prayers to help you. Well, what about people that connect with ancestral deities? If you have a good, strong connection, that's very positive. Invoke those ancestral deities to assist you to what? Gain acceptance and ride the waves of increasing opportunity. Because sometimes you just want somebody to open the door for you. The late James Brown, born May 3rd, I believe. Yeah, May 3rd, 1933, he had a song. I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door and I'll get it myself. So you got to step forward to do these things for yourself. Here's step number 6. Expect it to happen through the spirit world down into the physical plane. And you're going to be the conduit for that because it's got to come through you in order for you to see it. So you will sense and feel and then see events that are signs that things are happening for you because they're happening through you. You are this doorway, you are the gateway. You have eyes so you can see, nose so you can smell, a tongue so you can taste, tactile fingers and toes and feet, hands so you can touch things. You could hear things, you can smell, you can see these events happening in your life unfolding accordingly. And you can record them through those abilities, those skills that you have and your body, and you're conscious of it. But what about number 7? When it gets to number 7, I always tell people to affirm it all to be true for you. Affirmations are a good thing. And when you start affirming things, things start to happen for you. The late Louise Hay was a woman that suffered from cancer, was molested as a child, and she walked into New Thought movement. She became a New Thought practitioner. And her most popular book was and is today, it came out in the early 60s, late 60s. It is called Heal Thyself or Heal Your Body. And the magnificent thing was she used metaphysical statements like affirmations to turn everything around. She has everything in that book from A to Z, where you can turn around a dis-ease in your body because you can begin to do what? Find the root cause. And the root cause wasn't a physical thing like a health thing. It was the way that one thinks. Remember, I said in here already, it's about watching your attitude. How do you view how do you give yourself credit? What kind of value do you have for yourself? And we are always working at these things all the time. I am. I'm 72, still working at it. But I want to share these keys with you because I have many experiences of success for myself. Not everything is about making gazillions of money, but having your life be smooth so that you get along with people, get along with family members, get along with neighbors, begin to attract more and more positive people into your life and positive situations that you can experience. So I always say, affirm it into existence. Use the spoken word. I wrote a book. I know the print is kind of small in the book, but I wrote this book. And when did I write it? It's called Decree and It Shall Be, Speak As I Am, by myself, Francis E. Revels Bey, copyrighted in 2019. Thin little book. You can get it on Amazon.com. You can order it for about $12. You can get this online for $12, just $12. What I got, I wrote affirmations in here. They work. Wrote decrees in here. They work. I talked about affirmative prayer, which I've learned through various people from the New Thought movement, from the Unity churches to the Science of Mind churches, which are now called the Centers of Spiritual Living. Dr. Michael Beckwith talks about it because he's a exponent of those things. He's a teacher of those things. And he followed the teachings of Ernest Holmes. And he has mega church with mega followers worldwide called Agape, right out there in California. So these things can help you achieve. There are other steps you can take. Strive to educate yourself, read positive books, watch more positive movies that make you laugh and give you something to learn, that feed you spiritually. Love yourself more. These are things that you want to do. Learning to love yourself more can assist you in going the way that you need to. This is essential. And let's see if I can get my student on here. And then we'll have a discussion about these things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sign off and sign back in to have this. Because I want to be able to record this and get this done. Make sure you have positive people around you. And then I'll have her join me, and I might show a clip of that maybe. But I just want to complete this recording right now. So this is all about how to ride the waves of increasing opportunity, and I give you 8 steps. First, decide, make up your mind, change your attitude or your outlook, how you think about things, acknowledge that you can do it, realize that all things are possible, invite your spirit guides, your ancestors, and ancestral deities to assist you. Expect it to happen through spirit, into you and through you. Affirm it into existence, decree it into existence, and then do everything else step by step. I guarantee you things will get better. Thank you for joining me. This is part 1. I'm going to sign out so part 2 can take place. Take care, everybody.